Hello, beautiful soul. Have you ever had a feeling where you've seen someone put something online or and you're like, oh, I don't know if I like the hairstyle on her or the color of her hair or you've actually noticed yourself judging that person rather than maybe actually listening to what they're saying, or even it might be the way they speak, or there's something that you have associated with what you like or what you don't like. Well, in today's video, I'm actually going to talk about judgment. And this can also be if you feel like you have been judged by people and it's not really a nice feeling. But we also have times where we judge others, and judgment really just comes down to how we were raised, like our childhood, like people around us, and how what we were taught was normal and what we were taught was and what we were taught wasn't normal. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with you if you find yourself judging people. It's literally how we've been conditioned to act and be, and also just so we can be accepted. We need to fit in with those around us, or what we consider normal, to be accepted. So judgment comes basically tied in with that. And so in this video, I'm going to help you with noticing judgment when it arises in yourself, and what you can do to stop the judgment. And also, if you find you're being judged by others, how you can help yourself deal through that and release any feelings of it might be some not nice feelings that are arising in you, and it might be feelings of not feeling accepted or not feeling loved or whatever when we're being judged by others. So my name is Lisa. This is Heal with Lisa Cerise. I like to consider myself as your spiritual cheerleader that can help you through the darker times of spiritual awakenings or any sort of self-improvement work that you're doing. There's always a sign where we have to reflect and go within and look at what changes that we can make in our own lives. So I like to put a nice fun light spin to all of that self-awareness, and so hopefully it's not as much of a hard journey as it has to be. And so today we're going to talk about judgment. And so when we have feelings of judgment arise in us, just remember it's not like you're a bad person or anything. It's generally a sign that there's some unresolved healing in ourselves that we need to work on. And we can have judgment as a protection mechanism, or where something where if we're fearing something, where judgment can come in as a defense mechanism to protect ourselves, especially if it's something that we're scared of doing or we fear or whatever. We can turn to judgment as a protection mechanism. Also, our ego can get in the way. Our ego loves to be right as such, or right and wrong, and so we want to be justified and right, and so our ego can come in judgment, and then we can judge others for what we don't feel is right. We think they're wrong and we think we're right, so our judgment can come in and sort of validate us on our decision of us being, our ego needing to be right, which is, when we say us, it's technically our ego. When we are talking I am right, that's our ego speaking. And so a judgment can come up from internalized conditioning from our peers, our friends, our religions, people that we were raised around, or being conditioned to be a certain way. So we may have grown up being a certain way, associating with, if I act like this, I will be accepted, and that's normal. And so we then see what we have, we think is normal, and so when anyone is outside of our scale of normal, that can lead to judgment. And also there can be some acknowledge shadow work that needs to be addressed when you are finding, if you're finding yourself judging someone. It can be anything. It can be what someone's wearing. Like, I'm guilty for, I think I saw someone down just literally before filming this video walking down the street in like lingerie and like in a coat, and it's like winter here, and I was like, wow, that girl's got some balls. And then I noticed myself like, why is she wearing that in the street? She's wearing lingerie with, and you know what? Actually, it doesn't really matter. Who cares? What she wants to do is totally up to her. And I felt myself in a state of judgment. So I had to kind of check myself and, figure out where that judgment is coming from. Maybe I don't have the balls to walk down the street like that, and it doesn't really matter what other people are doing. This is when we need to really look at, we've got like a wound. Maybe I didn't have the confidence to do that, because then there comes with, I might get in my head about the shame, and judgment and shame is quite like, they're relatable. So we can have like a separation of consciousness, like good versus bad, me versus them. So our judgment can come up when we feel like we're doing something right and they're doing something wrong, then we will judge them. Also, it's like me versus them, like what I would do versus what they're doing. This is when our judgment comes up, and also it can be due to some like unmet needs. There might be some like needs that maybe you're not feeling loved and validated for being who you really want to be, and so you might be finding yourself turning to judging others and commenting on their appearance or how they look or what they're doing or how they're acting. So many different things. There can be some unmet needs that are arising through this judgment. And so judgment can be a bit of a mirror for growth. It's really good to see when we're judging someone what we are possibly mirroring back to ourselves on something that we might be lacking or feel like we can't express, or feel like we are not we haven't fully come into the potential of doing that yet. We also judge people because they may have had something amazing, or they might be doing the type of thing that we want to be doing, whether it's a job or like they're really good at a sport or something like that, and we really want to do that. So we can see our potential, and we sort of judge how they got there, how they got their success, or how they've done so well to justify us maybe not being at the same level. So it can be a mirror of where you actually are wanting to be or where you're wanting to go, or something in yourself. We can also judge others for things that we maybe used to do we don't do anymore. So it can be almost like a mirror. We judge them for being like a past version of ourselves, but that everyone is on their own journey, and we just need to have to go within and reflect on how amazing we can be and how we can show up for ourselves every day. Some things you can ask yourself when you find yourself judging others, you can ask yourself, what am I trying to like protect right now? Is there something that I'm like, maybe I'm feeling I'm not fulfilling my full potential, I'm not doing the things that I really want to do, so I might be projecting that judgment outwards. And another thing you can ask yourself, is this really about them, or is this something in myself that I haven't healed yet and I may need to like look into? And what am I really feeling? Like, where is this coming from? Where do I feel it in my body? And maybe what part of me needs love right now? And can you choose like a little bit of curiosity and like asking yourself, what is actually going on underlying the judgment? And then you can ask, what part of me maybe feels like threatened, or if this judgment arises, like is there a part of me that I'm not really standing into my power, and or am I feeling a bit threatened right now, so I'm sort of like throwing this judgment out and projecting anything that is arising in me right now. And then also know that this also goes for the other person. If someone is judging you, you don't have to know what the reason is or what's going in for them, but just know that this is probably a lot of the stuff that they may need to work on and to realize in themselves. But if we can start with really working on ourselves and just us being better humans and not judging others, and really figure out what is actually going on in me when this judgment is coming on, and coming at it with curiosity, then that's, you're one step ahead of such a like better empowering life, and you'll find that you're happier, and you just like life just flows for you. You also find the less you judge of others, the more positive people you surround yourself with. So if you're finding that you've got a lot of people that are quite judgmental around you, you can just say to them, hey, I don't choose to participate in this, if they're talking about a particular person. Or you can just choose to point the conversation in a different direction, or choose to just not engage and change the topic. It's really up to you what you want to do, but I wouldn't, it would be more beneficial for you to start acknowledging when these feelings are arising. What is coming up in you? Are you just kind of joining in with a conversation? Then that's when you will start to notice if that's where possibly finding people that are less judgmental to surround yourself with might be more beneficial for you. And believe me, I've been down this journey, so I understand how hard it is, but I'm here for you if that's something that you are working towards. And just remember, judgment is just a signpost to make you aware of something that's not quite healed in your life at the moment, or it might be some underlying trauma or underlying childhood wounds that you felt not accepted or loved. Basically, that's all we want as humans, is to be accepted and loved. And so if we were judged our life, or comments constantly, then it's almost like we feel like that's to participate and to carry them on, is to be accepted and loved. So I'm going to leave that as that. Hopefully you have found today's video really good. I'd love for you to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. It helps my channel, and it helps other people find me, and hopefully get this message out to others who may need to hear it. And I wish you all the best in your healing journey, and love and belief, Lisa Cerise.